From Deseret.com. Accusations of unprofessional handling and mistreatment of contestants on Beast Games come to light. It's just getting worse and worse for old Jimmy, Mr. Beast. We have this from Rolling Stone. Ava Chris Tyson used me. Former Mr. Beast collaborator accused of sexual misconduct, from August 7th. We have Mr. Beast from Business Insider. The internet's love affair with YouTube's biggest star is showing cracks. Heaven help me. We have this from Drama Alert. Former Mr. Beast employee claims a registered sex offender worked as a manager for Mr. Beast's company. Do you believe these allegations? Now, many people say, well, who cares about Mr. Beast? Why do we care about any of these controversies? Well, one big reason. YouTube props Mr. Beast up, displaying people like Ava Tyson, who's been accused of grooming and sexual misconduct now, deeply serious allegations, to which Jimmy himself, Mr. Beast, said he's seen enough. He had fired this individual, terminated them, or removed them, or whatever he said. That's how bad it was. This guy was being shown to children and defended. Jimmy was going on X and saying, leave my friend alone, when Chris Tyson was sending allegedly sexual content, pornography to minors, to children, masquerading as a woman, while also being accused of abusing another male trans woman. This story's absolutely insane. So here's how I said it. Jimmy, your friend needed an intervention, and instead you affirmed the crisis, and this is what you get. And that's the first big reason. The second is the leaked email. Mr. Beast internal email leaked. Now, I don't know. He says confirmed real, but this is the real story before we get into the conflict and the crisis. All of these different controversies arising with Mr. Beast. And the real story is this email. Why? When Ava Chris Tyson is allegedly sending porn and other deviant, degenerate material, illegal content, enticing children, and Jimmy is defending him. Why? Because he has to. Because under the law in which they operate, they've got these policies that they have to follow. In the email, they basically say they are redoubling those same policies. That is, when Ava Chris Tyson came out and said that their alleged degenerate behaviors was just part of an identity issue that you are legally required to protect, Mr. B said, okay, and defended it. Instead of challenging it, instead of providing an intervention for this individual, the law required, his insurance probably required, that I just defend what Ava Tyson, Chris Tyson, was doing. So now Jimmy, in response, has issued an email to his company saying, we're going to do all of it all over again. In response to what happened with Chris Tyson, he's now saying these diversity policies will be reinforced, re-educated, but guess what? Those are the policies that protected Chris Tyson as he allegedly enticed minors and sexually abused another individual because he was legally protected. One employee claimed that they wanted to do something about it, but they couldn't for legal reasons. Tyson would sue the Mr. Beast company. So what could they do? This is the cycle. Here's the email. From Jimmy, it says, Dear Team Beast, I wanted to update all of you on the recent concerns that have been raised online and in the press. As I mentioned in my tweet a couple of weeks ago, let me see, is there a date on this? There's no date on this. We have hired Quinn Emanuel, a top-tier law firm, to do a full investigation of the Ava Tyson allegations. We also asked them to expand the scope to include a full assessment of our internal culture and to investigate allegations of inappropriate behavior by people in the company. While the process is not complete, I have enough preliminary information at this point that I'm announcing several changes today. As your leader, I take responsibility, and I'm committed to continue to improve and evolve my leadership style. While I've been mostly focused on creating content, launching Feastables, building our community, and leading our philanthropic efforts, I recognize that I also need to create a culture that makes all of our employees feel safe and allows them to do their best work. Therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president and COO, we will be hiring a new Chief Human Resource Officers, Chief Financial Officer, and General Counsel, along with other roles to add capacity and competencies to foster a better internal culture as we continue to grow. To start off, we'll be instituting hiring a new a chief human resources officer. We will be bringing in seasoned leader to help us build more inclusive environment and a world-class HR team. Mandatory training. You ready for this one? We are implementing mandatory training sessions on safety, sexual harassment, LGBTQ, diversity, sensitivity training, and workplace conduct for all employees. It is those same policies that led to the protection of Ava Tyson, who is alleged to have enticed and groomed children and to have sexually abused another individual who I believe worked for Tyson. They're now saying harassment and LGBTQ diversity, all that's going to be reinforced. So when Tyson was coming out and publicly saying these things, according to one of the employees, they couldn't fire Tyson because of Tyson being trans and being diverse and making claims against the company. They're now reinforcing it. It's the downward death spiral. It's where we go. Many people have pointed out that the obvious end result of what we are seeing with all of this weird DEI stuff is it's the result of the Civil Rights Act. The Civil Rights Act says you can't discriminate against people, just live your lives. What it's supposed to mean is that if you're white, black, man or woman, religious, whatever, you're fine. But one by one, they add new things. The Supreme Court says that gender identity is a protected class because sex means identity. It doesn't. But this basically means that men can dress up like women to go in the women's bathroom now if they have ill intent. Not all of them do. I don't think most trans women have ill intent to do so. But there are questions now about having males going into female spaces. There's a reason why we segregate. There's a reason why we segregate the sexes. The argument from the left is that gender segregation is just as bad as racial segregation, which is ridiculous. And for those, you really want the logic behind it? Because I'll give you the logic. The idea that because of a color's skin color, you are better or worse off and shouldn't have the same space makes literally no sense. But men and women are different. It doesn't matter what nationality, ethnicity, race, where you come from. Men and women are different. Men will have higher bone density and more muscle mass. Women will have less skin collagen, wider hips, wider Q angle, all of these things. And for that, universally, we're like, men and women are different and they want separate spaces. Many women want to be in a space when they're doing their business away from men. Men seem to care a lot less, but women tend to care a lot more, and that's universal. In fact, in the Middle East, they take it way more seriously. Absolutely. Women are covered up and not allowed to be in certain places. Not that I agree with that. But the idea that, a guy from Haiti and a guy from Nigeria are going to be the same and should be segregated based on the color of their skin makes literally no sense. Someone from Somalia is going to be shorter than someone from Nigeria. There's no universal distinction other than the color of their skin. So skin color and race don't seem to make sense for segregation. The argument the left makes is meaningless. It doesn't make sense. So racial segregation, of course, is wrong, but sex segregation in bathrooms and sports and medicine makes a lot of sense. Here's another one for you. In the early 1990s, they passed a law in the United States that said clinical trials had to be done on men and women separately. Why? For a long time, doctors were like, we gave the painkiller to the woman, but she's still complaining. Women. The reality was certain painkillers didn't work on women in the same way. Surprise, surprise. Men and women have different biology. So women were suffering in these medical environments, not getting proper painkillers. And the doctors were just like, I gave you painkillers. Why are you mad? Or they may give them more, resulting in potential liver damage or who knows what. And they realized, we need to give different painkillers to different people. Men and women are different. But here we are. They're saying listening sessions. Jeff will be holding listening sessions across the company to hear directly from employees about their experience and ideas for improvement. All you're going to get is squeaky wheels to men in the grease. Anonymous reporting, external review. I want you to know that I'm optimistic about the company's future. Are you now? Well, here we go. Oh, I got the wrong one pulled up again. Really? Where was the, did I really pull up the wrong one right there? Where's the Mr. Beast? There we go. Oh, I see what happened. It switched. I switched on me. So the contestants of the Beast Games, accusation of unprofessional handling and mistreatment. Really? Jimmy Donaldson, his YouTube channel famous for blah, 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 new accusations. A recent New York Times report provides additional details on the situation from anonymous contestants due to NDAs sharing their experience in the game show. They say for many contestants, they found it was the poor set conditions rather than the challenges themselves. We signed up for the show, but we didn't sign up for not being fed or watered or treated like human beings. Initially, contestants were told there would be 1,000 participants. They were surprised to find 2,000. Obviously, there's 2,000 contestants, Donaldson said in a video to participants reviewed by the New York Times. I don't remember if I said that publicly or not, but there is. The starting number of contestants would be whittled down until there was 1,000 left. We were treated horribly. They took on this challenge of 2,000 competitors. They should have known they needed an enormous crew to handle this correctly. How about this one, the more serious allegations? Rolling Stone says Tyson, who is under third-party workplace investigation, is being accused of sending inappropriate messages and pressuring a former employee into sexual acts. And why couldn't they deal with this? Well, apparently, one employee said, as I already mentioned, that they couldn't take any action against him because they'd be sued. Let me see if we can pull up this story real quick. See if there's any additional details that we're not getting. Here we go. We have the story from Rolling Stone. Ava Chris Tyson stepped down from her role working with Mr. Beast. I think at this point, actually, let's read. The inappropriate nature of the conversations, though mostly juvenile, shocked the Mr. Beast community, especially in the wake of larger conversations about how the creators and young stars should act. They say many on social media claimed there was evidence of grooming. Lava quickly came out to defend Tyson, saying they were just edgy jokes. However, Lava's story was just the beginning. In fact, later on, Lava announced, actually, you're right. They were more than just jokes. They had an entire porn section on their server, allegedly. I haven't seen their server, but these images have come out. They go on to mention the following day on July 27th, a woman named Jess, who was Tyson's executive assistant, posted over 60-part thread on X sharing her detailed experience with Tyson, who she claims used the position within Mr. Beast to entice her with employment, leading to her being sexually assaulted while working. This woman, by the way, is a trans woman who I believe is a trans woman who met up with Chris Tyson, and Chris Tyson then offered, hey, we'll put you on the show and things like this. I believe that's what the thread was saying. And then just, wanted to get taken care of, if you know what I mean. They go to mention that Rolling Stone spoke with Wyman and Jess, blah, blah, blah. Rolling Stone contacted Tyson over Instagram, X, email, and phone. Tyson and the reporter spoke for about 2 minutes over the phone before she said she would call him back later. The reporter's number was blocked, and she didn't reply to an email with a detailed list of questions and allegations. I believe that Tyson will go to jail. And this matters. A lot of people don't care about Mr. Beast, whatever. Dude, this is the biggest YouTuber. Okay? This stuff is being sent to children. This is something that matters culturally. Which would you rather have? The biggest YouTube channel being family-friendly sporting events and comedy with a wholesome creator who doesn't abuse children or have staff doing so? Or Mr. Beast, who protected and defended Tyson, is exacerbating the problems, has been accused of mistreating the people, the contestants on his show, and he does. This is my problem with Mr. Beast. I can respect he's got a big show. I can respect he tries to do nice things. But when I see these videos and it's like taking poor people and I hate it. I'm sorry. I just hate it. Here's what I like. Make a video where and Mr. Beast has done this, I'm pretty sure, where you leave a tip for $1,000 for an employee and film their reaction. Fine. You're exploiting the reaction of someone who's receiving a gift, but everybody wins in the end, right? You'll get 1 million views, you win. There have been fake videos in the past where people stage giving homeless people money. I roll. What I don't like is how Mr. Beast goes, we got 100 people, we promised them $1 million if they, do strange task. And these people are like, I got to pay off my debt. My mom's sick and, she needs help. Taking poor people who need money, because everybody does, and then using them for entertainment to engage in behaviors that are demeaning, I think is sick. Not a fan. You can call it a game show or whatever, but nah. A game show is not taking poor people who are in desperate need of money and then exploiting them intentionally with demeaning acts. A game show is like spin the wheel and maybe you'll win a car. That's fine. Everybody could use a new car, I suppose. Not everybody, but some people. That's why I've never been a big fan of this guy. And now that we're hearing more and more of this, but most importantly, that Mr. Beast protected Chris Tyson until it was too late, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This stuff needs to be called out. YouTube should not be propping this stuff up and protecting these people, but surprise, surprise, they're going to. I'm going to wrap it up there. The next segment will be coming up in just a little bit. I believe we've got right here. OnlyFans athlete Alicia Newman causes controversy by twerking to celebrate medal. An OnlyFans athlete who won and is a hooker. Well, that's what we'll be talking about in the next segment. So smash that like button. Follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. I hope I offended at least some of you by calling her the hooker. But we'll talk about this. We're going to talk about what this means because they talk about how much money she makes selling pictures of her body to men who are trying to get off. The next segment will be coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thank you for hanging out. And for everybody else watching live, we'll go to Super Chats now.